The Book of Boba Fett has just released its second episode, and in that episode we see a new Wookiee. Now this Wookiee has a big story in the Star Wars comics and is going to be very important in the Book of Boba Fett, and I will explain why. So without further ado, let's get into the lore of Black Krrsantan. Black Krrsantan, nicknamed Santi, BK or Black K by Dr. Aphra, was a male Wookiee bounty hunter whose career spanned from during the rule of the Galactic Empire into the era of the New Republic. Originally captured from his homeworld Kashyyyk and trained by the infamous Zonti brothers as a gladiator, Krrsantan later became a ferocious bounty hunter who was regularly hired by the crime lord Jabba the Hutt, and at one point was hired by Darth Vader during the Galactic Civil War to track down and capture an agent of the Emperor. Following the end of the war and the death of Jabba, Krrsantan came under the employ of the late Hutt's cousins, brother and sister crime lords known as the Twins. Their cousins' criminal empire had been taken over by the former hunter, Boba Fett, and the Hutts sought Krrsantan's services in wresting control away from the self-appointed daimyo. Early in his life, Black Krrsantan was forced to flee his homeworld of Kashyyyk and subsequently disgraced his people. He sought out the pit-fighting crime bosses, the Zonti brothers, who used slavers to acquire new fighters to learn from them in fighting. Krrsantan attacked 4 slaver groups, wiping out each of them when learning they did not work for the Zonti. Krrsantan set a trap for another group, leaving a Wookiee to bleed to death as bait. A group of 5 Trandoshan slavers arrived shortly thereafter, walking into the trap. Krrsantan opened fire on the slavers, quickly killing 3 of them. The remaining 2, Noka and Kutan, took cover behind a tree while Kutan attempted to kill Krrsantan. The Wookiee incapacitated the Trandoshan and tossed him into a tree. Krrsantan stood over Noka and ordered the slaver to take him to the Zonti brothers. Noka allowed the Wookiee aboard his ship and brought him and 4 captured aliens, a Taus, a Herglick, a Gamorrean, and a Dowitan, to the Zonti brothers. On the way, Noka asked what would have happened if he was not with the Zonti. Krrsantan cited the 4 other slave groups he had wiped out, although Noka only knew of 2 disappearing in the past month, which made the Wookiee laugh. Sometime later, Krrsantan became a bounty hunter for the crime lord Jabba the Hutt, who resided on the desert planet Tatooine. In 10 BBY, Krrsantan was hired by Jabba to track down the man who stopped his water tax. He went to the location of the attack in the Dune Sea with Paghetti Rook and a Klatooinian guard. Krrsantan went to the moisture farm nearby and took Owen Lars hostage. Krrsantan then made Lars scream. He then saw the man, Ben Kenobi, appear behind him. He was given a chance to leave by Kenobi. Krrsantan fought Kenobi, choking him and trapping him with a stun net. Lars fought back against Krrsantan, but was easily knocked aside. Kenobi used the Force to cause rocks to hit Krrsantan and save Lars from falling. He then tried to kill Kenobi with a rock. Krrsantan was briefly blinded and scarred by Kenobi's lightsaber. He tried to shoot Kenobi with his electrified net gun, but it was destroyed. Krrsantan then punched and tried to kill Kenobi, as Kenobi attempted to rescue Lars. He continued trying to kill him with his bowcaster until he fell off the side of a cliff. Krrsantan then fled Tatooine, knowing that Jabba would be incensed at his failure. In 4 ABY, Jabba was killed. Krrsantan was then employed by the Twins, a pair of Hutts who spent their days involved in debauchery on the Hutt world of Nal Hutta. When the Twins travelled to Tatooine, intending to reclaim the territory of Jabba, their cousin, for the Hutts, Krrsantan accompanied them, acting as muscle. However, Jabba's empire had been claimed by the former bounty hunter Boba Fett, who was unfazed by the gladiator's presence. Fett maintained that his territory was his, and that the Hutts should go back to Hutta. The Twins wanted to kill him, but the male of the pair decided to defer the conflict until later, leaving Fett and bringing Krrsantan with them, the latter of whom glared at Fett before departing. That is where I'm going to leave it for this video. This information was taken from the Wikipedia page of Black Krrsantan. There is much more information on that page and I'll leave a link to it in the description. What do you guys think is going to happen in the Book of Boba Fett? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, that would help me out a lot. And subscribe, since I'll be uploading videos like this every single week, especially when new characters are introduced, or when characters return in series such as the Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, The Mandalorian, and all of the shows that are coming out in the future. Other than that, I hope you guys had a great new year, and I'll see you next week.